Good day. Today we're going to be taking a look at a rather obscure SNK game. Now for those who don't know who SNK is one of the most legendary arcade developers of all time. They created the amazing Neo Geo arcade machine and also a plethora of amazing fighting games. Now the game we're taking a look at today is, well, it's kind of weird, kind of crazy, and the weirdness starts up right with the title, Prehistoric Island in 1930. The game is a side-scrolling shooter, but it's a fucking weird one at that. The prehistoric island is filled with murderous, ravenous dinosaurs that the sight of you want to kill and eat you, even though you're in a plane and should be able to fly high and fast enough for them not to be able to attack you. The gameplay itself is bog standard. You fly to the right and straight up murder everything in sight. Even cavemen. For some reason, even they think they can take on a bloody machine gun armed biplane. And then, holy shit, did you just see that? These cavemen must have the jump height of the fucking Superman! Golden Age Superman to be exact. Anyway, there are a few speed power-ups found here and there, and you can get a weapon power-up as well. They can be found in dinosaur eggs. Okay, just let that sink in a bit. And really, that's the gameplay. If it weren't for the utterly insane premise and presentation, this would just be another bloody tedious shooter amongst the multitude. Now, graphically, the game looks pretty good, as should be expected from an SNK game, with all the enemies animated fairly well, and the bosses highly detailed and decently animated, although we'll get to actually one of their animations a bit later. Sound is fairly generic, with nothing really standing out, and the music is, well, just listen. The story for the game is just, well, horrible. And I don't mean it's just poorly written, and it is, but it has a lot of, shall we say, fridge horror to it, to say the least. Well, first off, the story outright contradicts the title screen by saying that the events of the game actually take place in the 1930s, not 1930, the first fucking year of the decade. There, we have a bunch of shipwrecks around the Bahamas. I think the story says that the shipwrecks happened at an island called Green Hell, but it could just be that they happen in the Bahamas and they're all centered around Green Hell. It's kind of hard to tell. Now, of course, your first question will be, why don't they just bloody well warn the ships not to go to the island with the obviously evil-sounding name? And just look at the map. This island is out by itself and it's completely isolated from the bloody Bahama Islands. So why would a ship even need to go there? Lastly, how does an island with dinosaurs escape notice when it's this close to the goddamn US mainland? So in order to figure all this out, you're dispatched to investigate Green Hell Isle, because no one would ever think something bad would happen there. Now you're told about the game that you're supposed to investigate the island. And seeing as how this is 1930, investigation usually means blowing the fuck out of everything that moves. Oh yes, you may be in a plane, but instead of, flying over the island and taking pictures of the island and its dinosaur inhabitants that are all horribly endangered by this point, you take your plane right down to the deck, and surprise, surprise, you get attacked. And so you go through the game ensuring dinosaurs fucking stay extinct, goddammit! I mean, nature selected them for extinction, and so if I have to do it myself, I'm gonna fucking do it! Look at this. This is a Brachiosaurus. Or at least this is what the game thinks a Brachiosaurus is supposed to be. Now, I'm not a paleontologist. I don't dig up bloody dinosaurs, but even I know a Brachiosaurus cannot and could never shoot fire. It's less a dino and more of a bloody kaiju. And you can somehow kill it with a biplane. Damn, looks like the army should have been calling this guy out. I mean, they would have lost a hell of a lot less planes that way. And then you, of course, slaughter more dinosaurs and then fight Ridley from Super Metroid? Perhaps you're not the villain after all. Perhaps this island is actually a space pirate breeding ground. Except that doesn't really make any sense. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say the player character is a villainous asshole that just wants to slaughter things. And then you fight a mutated sperm whale. I am not making this up. You can see it right there on the screen. That's a mutated sperm whale. A sperm whale that is not a dinosaur, but instead a contemporary animal. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This is not really a dinosaur game, is it? It's more of a kaiju killing game more than anything else. I mean, when you've got a mutated flying sperm whale, and yeah, that's as weird as it sounds even when you say it, You kind of throw out all pretensions to anything approaching historical accuracy and or suspension of disbelief. And also, since it is a mutated sperm whale, you know I gotta do it. Roll the clips.
It's Moby Dick that tore my soul and body until they bled into each other. I'll follow him around the Horn and around the Norway maelstrom and around perdition's flames before I give him up.
So eventually, you fight enough and your plane can turn into a submarine for some reason. Insert Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow joke here. And then you kill a bunch of sea life, which when you think about it, were probably responsible for all the shipwrecks in the first place, thus making this entirely pointless. I mean, why fly over the bloody land anyway? It's not like the ships are growing fucking wheels and driving everywhere. Really, if ships are being sunk, wouldn't the first thing you check would be the bloody water? Oh yeah, and eventually you do get to kill Gamera, which is very satisfying indeed. Screw you, Sandy Frank!
Gamera! Gamera! Gamera is really neat. Gamera is filled with meat. We've been eating Gamera. Shell, teeth, eyes, flames, claws, breath, scales, fun.
Then you go into a cave and okay, now this is officially the 286 millionth greatest shoot 'em up of all time, simply because you get to kill your hunter from the future. Not even Gradius can claim that. And then of course, after you go through the cave level, you should expect to go into an active volcano. That makes as much sense as the one from the film with the same name. First, it is apparently big enough to fly a biplane through, but it also can apparently support another bloody air core of pterodactyls. Why they don't instantly burn to death, I have no real idea. But moving on. The boss is the big one. The king. The monster all dinosaurs and kaiju wish they were. The big man himself, Godzilla! Well, for copyright reasons they call it a tyrannosaur, but we can tell who it is really supposed to be, and
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
really? That's the animation they're going with? It's like the frog from the cartoon Hello, my baby, hello, my honey. Okay, so that dance animation kind of kills it. But you basically fight Godzilla. And also biplanes can just hover in place because of magic chaos emeralds created by Tails' power. This T-Rex is not only kaiju in size, but he also shoots fire. After you kill him, you leave the island with your mission to make dinos extinct all over again complete. And then you somehow rendezvous with the DC-3 many years before even the first prototype flew. And also this DC-3 is big enough for 2 biplanes to dock with. But then, there's a twist! Apparently, dinosaurs don't like being slaughtered in mass and attack the plane and tear it to fucking pieces, thus ensuring their continued survival. And that is Prehistoric Island in 1930. A bog-standard, boring, side-scrolling shooter that's only memorable because you got a dancing Godzilla. Show that again!
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire.
That never bloody well gets old. Do I recommend the game? Well, no. Why? Because it's kind of crap. Even if you got a second player, it's gonna get old fast. And so, this is General Lotz wishing you good, Polestar wishing you good, Gradius, or whatever makes you happy.